the guys, they knew about it. They ain't know about like I know about it. Wait till because see a lot of things, a lot of singers can't do a lot of stuff he do. He can do the Blue Eyed Soul too, and we would play down here and play a place where it's like a crossover of people. He could do the Blue Eyed Soul like was nothing. He was like one of the only cats doing it.
I saw this old lady out there trying to get crack too, but what she was doing to get it was selling rolls of toilet paper that weren't even whole rolls. And at that very moment I saw her, God said something to me. He said, son, if you don't get yourself together right now, that's going to be you. I probably would have ended up dead or in jail. Because your luck would run out sooner or later. You can't keep taking cash drugs and using them and not paying them. It would have caught up with me. It's been 5 years, going on 6 years now that my son has been missing. And during a lot of that time, I've felt that I was the only one who really cared. Close-knit family unit with my aunts and my grandmother, who was a very spiritual person. You know, my grandmother was actually, she was a pastor of a church actually in West Virginia. She was a Pentecostal evangelist. And boy, I tell you, she, she believed in a God that could do anything. The Northwest area of D.C. was always known for the best dressing dudes, the slick cats who had families who sold drugs, and a lot of those cats were selling drugs. They had money. My mother didn't have any money. I had to shoplift my whole 10th grade wardrobe from Sunday Surplus on 9th Street. So you got all these slick dressing cats up there, and I walk in there looking like I'm going camping. Early years, Since, man, honestly, it was like being the star of your own movie.
And you know that's right, girl. I tell you again, you don't need no undo it. I said what? I said all you got to do is just do it to it. Come on, y'all.
You're singing for your peers, you know, having a certain look, I guess, was helpful in your stage performance. So you're basically singing for a bunch of giddy teenage girls who screamed and cried and threw money and threw underwear and all types of stuff at you while you were singing. That's when everything flipped too. Back then, when I started, the bands and the managers handled the game. Then it flipped that the promoters were handling the game, and you kind of had to be at their mercy. Crack came on the scene, 85, 86. You know, tried it for the first time, fell in love with it, and to make a long story short, from 1985 until 1996, I was addicted to crack. But it was a handful of us. At that time, man, if you weren't in a frat, the star of the basketball or football team, or a drug dealer from New York, you wasn't gonna get no attention at all. Really. And I wasn't any of them. And I was still playing for Rassins at the time. 1985, my first year at Howard, I was still playing for Red Essence, and I thought, hey, I tell them I play for Red Essence, these chicks going, but again, at that time, if you weren't in a frat, the star of the football or basketball team, or a drug dealer from New York City, New York cats ran the campus. And the same God that those people believe in, and I believe in his power. And I know that without him carrying me through this, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you. It's been 5 years, going on 6 years now that my son has been missing. And during a lot of that time, I've felt that I was the only one who really cared. Prayer, faith without works is dead. The Bible that they say they love says that. So don't just pray for me, help me, do something. We can accomplish a lot together.
What can people do?
Well, for one, I established a GoFundMe campaign over 2 years ago. I had actually exhausted my 401k when I left Verizon, and I put up $10,000 of my own money, which still stands, to try to use as reward bait for someone to talk and give us information as to my son's whereabouts. We hung posters with that. I constantly broadcasted it on Facebook. Nobody bit. So what I did 2 years ago, I put up the GoFundMe campaign asking folks to donate to put on top of that $10,000 until we reach $100,000. Surely somebody would talk for $100,000.